SpongeBob SquarePants Nighty Nightmare, released in 2006. This one is for the PC and is based on the very popular show SpongeBob SquarePants. Now, Nighty Nightmare has this very fun theme of playing the dreams of three of the SpongeBob characters: SpongeBob, Patrick, and Plankton. Each character has 2 levels to play, one which is locked until you beat the first. And, that's not very many levels, is it, huh? The first level you play for each character represents the good dream they have, and the second represents the nightmare. I really like that concept. It's a pretty cool one, actually. What's great is all these levels have a playstyle that is slightly different from each other, so it helps keep the game interesting while playing. In SpongeBob's dream, he's the greatest racer in Bikini Bottom. He has the most skills, he passes his test with flying colors, but suddenly a bunch of tires and pylons attack, so it's SpongeBob to the rescue with his mad skills. The feel of the game is like a real-time strategy with its overhead view and targeting system. It has pretty thorough but easy to follow instructions on how to play, all fully voice acted too.
Oh, yeah! I guess that's what they mean when they say burn rubber. But I better keep my eyes open for more of them.
This game is also completely mouse-based, so there's very little to learn control-wise. So in this one, you shoot at enemies and drain their hit points before they drain yours. You have to maneuver away from enemies and their projectiles to survive. Hitting the right mouse button will give you a view of your hitbox and your enemy's field of vision. Good for lining up attacks and is also used for maneuvering around one-hit kill stationary opponents. The goal of the level is to find objects to destroy barricades to get to the finish line. And although very simple to play, it was actually pretty fun. Next we enter SpongeBob's Nightmare, where he's trapped on a spaceship full of spaceship jellyfish from space. It's a giant maze with 3 keys to find to open the exit. And this one is played where SpongeBob will enter stealth mode. You have to avoid getting into the jellyfish's range of sight, so you'll be using the right mouse button quite a bit. You don't have to use it all the time, but he moves so freaking slow it's annoying, but you're definitely going to need it. You eventually get a net gun to trap jellyfish, but it only holds them for so long they do get up after a while. This gun doesn't work on the larger jellyfish though.
No! The nets aren't strong enough to hold the big green ones!
But it was a pretty good little stealthy maze game. Another fun level. I'm really enjoying myself here. Next is the Patrick Dream, which I really like the theme of this one. He's a superhero called Starfish Man, and he's fighting an evil villain version of himself called Patrick. Alright. Now, unlike SpongeBob with his ranged attacks, Patrick uses melee attacks with his tongue, attacking evil Patrick's henchmen, the salesmen, dentists, and weightlifters. He has to kill a certain amount of each to complete the level. He can also get bursts of speed by passing gas used by the right mouse. And again, I do love the superhero theme here, but the combat is actually pretty poor. You just step into the opponent, you hit each other, maybe you can maneuver away from their attack, but it's just basically one-hit combat, and it's not that good actually. So again, I like the theme, but it wasn't that good of a level. Next, Patrick takes to the sky in a top-down shooting level. He'll be fighting clowns in 5 ways complete with power-ups and a final boss level. Now this is actually still part of the first level, so it was a nice addition. It makes it feel like there's an extra level to Patrick's Dream. In Patrick's Nightmare, he loses his power and has to fight lint and soap scum with a hand vacuum. It's rather difficult due to the huge amount of enemies and the fact you have to get so close to them to use the hand vacuum. At the end of the level, you'll have a boss battle with the evil Patrick. Now this level is probably the most difficult level in the game, but it's only difficult really because of the poor combat design. It's really difficult to not get hit in combat and dodge, so you end up dying a lot. There's nothing you can do about it. So again, another not so enjoyable level. And finally, we look at Plankton's Dream. In his dreams, he turns into a giant and attacks Bikini Bottom like Godzilla. Your goal is to destroy as many buildings as possible and kill all who stand in your way. He can punch buildings, or he can use a death beam for massive spread damage. But you can't use it constantly, it does take time to charge back up. And in this one you even battle a giant robot Mr. Krabs. Hello, Mr. Krabs. Now this was probably the funnest game on here. It's just really satisfying to destroy stuff, I guess. And finally we move on to Plankton's Nightmare, where he's trapped in the belly of a whale. To get out, he's gonna have some recruits to assist him. You pick them up one by one over time and use them to attack enemies. Plankton himself doesn't fight, he's the one you're trying to protect. So send in your minions and try to keep Plankton out of harm's way, that's pretty much it. So the concept of this one I really liked too. It was actually another great level to play. I had fun. So overall, Nighty Nightmare is a pretty fun game. The change-up of the games every level keeps it fresh, the dream plots of each character are really cool, and its art and music are almost spot on to the cartoon. However, the game only has 6 short levels. You actually might be able to finish this in less than an hour. Now, I might have been okay with that, but there is another thing about this game. You really can't actually die. You've got infinite lives. If you lose your health, you get moved back to a nearby checkpoint, and all the enemies you killed won't respawn or reset. They're gone. So with no way to lose, this game just actually becomes a big time waster. It's just something to do. It's a fun time waster, but there's really nothing to challenge you. You're just given the illusion of challenge when none is actually there. Now, the giant Plankton level does have a timer and a goal, so I guess it's not completely void of any challenge. But the rest of the game, no, you just really can't lose. I want to say don't waste your time playing Nighty Nightmare, but it seems that wasting time was exactly what this game was trying to do. Thanks for watching.